89.3 2GLF.
You are now listening to Three Quirks and a Turk at 89.3 FM.
This is my station.
Action.
It's just insane and I love it.
Entertainment.
Hey guys, it's Selena Gomez.
Hey, this is Ed Sheeran.
Hey guys, it's Taylor Swift.
Entrepreneurs.
You need to learn this business, and this is the time to do it.
And empowerment.
Become an insider. So you have to know the rules before you get in the game.
It's Friday.
I can't believe that it's Freaky Friday.
YB Moody, shake that booty and tune in to the voice of the continent.
You know, the reason why I play this song, Darren?
Because it's getting ready for dance.
Dance. I know Peta, Mark-Ward from Inspire, Dance and Fitness in the studio. I'm expecting her to stand up and dance to this song because, like, her crew, they would love this kind of music. They would. So, Peta, welcome to the studio. How you been?
I am fantastic. It's been a while since I've been here, but I am so thrilled to be back.
You were here 3 years ago? Was it 3 or 4 years ago, right?
I think it might even be longer than that.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. What was the conversation we had you in here? We were talking about dance, Inspire?
Yeah, dance. We had a couple of the girls, senior students from Captivate, which is the performing arts program from the Parramatta Catholic Diocese.
That's right.
So they were in here with me talking about everything that dance does for them and also talking about Inspire Arts Challenge, the performing arts competition that I run.
I've noticed you've got the Inspire. Show us the shirt there. Look, shows the camera there, the shirt Inspire. You're black. I mean, don't strip. Okay, this is a PG show here, Peter. Okay, keep your shirt on. We just want to see the logo. So tell us a bit about this Inspire, because you've devoted a lot of time and energy into Inspire.
Yeah, so Inspire Dance and Fitness, it has a few different, realms.
Yeah.
We have the educational programs. So Inspire Edge is a movement-based program for educational schools from K to 12. And we send in professional tutors to teach boot camp, Zumba, dance, self-defense, all of these amazing programs. And what I say to the students and to the educators themselves, it's not necessarily about learning the actual skills. You can only master so much.
That's right.
But it's the life skills that are important. It's teaching these kids confidence. It's teaching these kids perseverance, resilience, and knowing that you don't have to be the best at something to give it a go. And failure is okay.
I've noticed I work with you and your team for a few years now, right? And what I found interesting, right, is that you can put two apples together and compare. No apple is the same. So if you put a few students that's involved in the creative industry, like say your students, the dancing and all that, and you put someone who are not in that creative industry, you can see the way they think. You can see the way they talk. You can see the attitude. Because the people who are dedicated to dancing, they're always perfecting their dance move, and there's ways they come across. Whereas you put someone who are not involved in that industry, they just seem to have no idea. But when you're dealing with some of your students, and I have the opportunity to work with a lot of them over the years, very positive, very punctual, always turn up on time. Do you see that often, Peter?
Yeah. I mean, I work in education a lot. Yeah. And one of the things that I let the kids know is I don't mind if you make a mistake in dance. I don't mind if you can't do it perfectly. Well, all I'm asking is that you try and you put your best foot forward. Correct. And learning about discipline, learning about how to dress yourself and be part of a team. And I think they're all things that can carry on throughout life. Yes. I mean, the students that you met, they're all grown now, they've finished uni, they're in their careers, and they still talk fondly about their time with me and the life skills that they came away from.
Correct. So you've been involved teaching for, 35 years?
Yeah.
35 years, that's a long time. And you probably see a lot of difference and changes, right?
Oh, absolutely. The changes, I mean, from when I was young and I was a student myself, let's talk body type, for example. Body type back then was tiny, petite, long limbs, thin. That's what you needed to be. Now, it's so much more inclusive. We're talking more athletic bodies, more muscular, because the tricks and the expectations of dancers now is so much more. They are pulling off amazing things. Different things that have changed would be the use of social media, types of training. You know, we've got students that are starting full-time hours in like 3rd grade.
Wow.
They're doing their schooling by distance education and focusing on dance as their mainstream. So there are a lot of changes, some good, some not so good. It all depends on mindset.
But is it a very competitive industry? Because like, I know that a lot of students want to get into music, and we get a lot of music artists in our studio right there, and we talk to them a lot, and you know, it's very competitive out there. So for dancers out there, is it very competitive for them?
Absolutely. If you're wanting to make a career from dance, Australia has a very small little niche market. It's really hard for a dancer to make a living purely on dance unless they're going to become a teacher, a choreographer, you know, all of those, maybe in stage production, set design. You can go into all of those other areas, but to be just a performer or just a dancer, it can be tough. But you've got all these amazing competitions out in Australia at the moment. There is so many. You've got competition for just young ones that are new to the industry, and then you've got those big competitions that are for those elite dancers. So it's covers all areas.
So what style do you specialize in? I know that dancing is a very vast area, and I know for a fact I love cha-cha. Like a lot of the Vietnamese, they love the cha-cha and rumba. So when they go out dancing, it's always the cha-cha. So in your case, you teach a lot of style, right?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, my strength for teaching would be jazz, musical theatre. That is where I absolutely love. But when it comes to adjudicating or judging, which I do around Australia, I'm competent and confident in all genres. So ballet, jazz, tap, hip-hop, lyrical, you name it, I can do it.
So if you were to look at Darren and I, what kind of style dancers do you think we are? Like, Darren's laughing.
You've got 2 left feet. Can you teach us to dance?
Absolutely.
What style do you think Darren is?
What could...
Stand up, Darren. Stand up, Darren.
Okay,
Stand up.
Darren, I think would be a Latin dancer.
Oh.
Latin
I love
dancer.
it. You know what? Years ago, I used to do salsa lessons.
Oh, there you go.
Salsa and merengue.
Okay.
I would have thought you say pop and ballet.
No ballet. I've retired my tights.
What style do you think I am?
I reckon you could pull off some hip hop, Davey.
You think I can?
Yeah.
You think I got
You
that
got
move?
the groove, you got the vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hip hop, yeah. Hip hop is actually very challenging, you know.
It is. It's not as easy as what other people think. They think that it's just like mucking around and just throwing a few moves, but there's so many little sub-genres within hip-hop, and people don't realise the history behind it because it has come from the cultural, like the indigenous side of things. So everything needs to be grounded and earthy, and you have to have all this separation within your body. And
look at the way she describes separation from your body. It's earthy, it's airy.
It is hard.
I love hip-hop dance.
Yeah.
When I watch a good hip-hop dancer, it's like, wow, the stuff they do.
You know, I know a couple of dancers that are at the moment ready to go overseas for HHI, which is Hip Hop International.
Wow.
So they'll be competing over there, and I wish you guys all the very best. But some of the routines that these people do, it's insane.
It's true though, because I see that a lot of people, even the dancers and singers, there's one thing they have is the passion.
Yeah.
And you can see that, and they devote 150% up to 200% of their life doing that, and then they perfect that, and you see when they perfect that, the joy.
Yeah.
And like the rewards they get, it's not always about the money, but the fact is that they're getting it right and perfected. It's like you can see it's next level up.
Yeah.
A sense of achievement.
Yes.
When you've tried to do something, work your butt off, and you've achieved it.
That's one thing that I think, you know, with young ones going into comps, that we really need to let these students know that it's not always about the trophy or the first or the second. It's did you nail that thing that you might not have been able to do in rehearsal? Yeah. Did you do your absolute best? Did you love being on stage? Because let's face it, everyone there is going to support you.
That's right.
They're young kids. We're all going to class.
We're in the same
industry.
industry.
We should be. Yes. And so that's where young ones need to just take a step back and go, you know what? I did a good job. I did my best. I might not have come first or second, but that's okay.
Yeah, but it's a training ground for so many things.
That's correct.
You know, you've achieved it and you deserve to feel proud of yourself.
Yes, so true. Folks, you're tuning in with the Three Quirks and a Turk. 89.2 GF, 89.3 to GOF, and we have here Peter from Inspire Dance and Fitness. Peter, can you do me a favour? A lot of our guests come in here and we'd like to get them to play a bit of a tagline, and that is, it's Friday, why be moody? You can shake your booty, man, because you're a dancer. I can imagine you can shake it, right? So can you look at the camera? Stand up for a sec, Peter.
You put me on the spot, Davey.
All right, stand up. Mate, you put the students on the spot.
That's my job.
That's your job. It's not our job to put you on the spot. So can you say, it's Friday, why be moody? You can shake your booty. And I want you to do a bit of a dance to that routine for me too, will you?
It's Friday, why be moody? Shake that booty.
Yeah, love it. So see, that wasn't hard, was it?
Pretty good.
No, it was fine.
That was fine, wasn't it?
Well done.
So also you actually danced with Tina Arena. So tell me, Tina Arena is an Aussie icon, right?
Yeah.
And she's a lovely lady, and like I have to admit, out of all the celebrities, I don't think she's much of a drama queen.
No. I mean, I first met Tina Arena back in the Johnny Young Talent School days, because I was part of the Sydney-based Johnny Young Talent School.
Wow.
And so I met her and other people like Danny Minogue. They were in the Melbourne-based TV crew based in Melbourne when I was in Sydney. So we met each other that way, and then later on in life when she started touring and things like that, we got reconnected and part of the tour.
You mentioned Kylie Minogue and Danny Minogue.
Yeah.
Who's a drama queen more? Kylie or Danny?
Well, I've never met Kylie.
Yep.
And I've only ever met Danny when she was with Johnny Young.
She's so cute back then.
She was fine. And look, who are we to cast aspersions? I can't say anything until I meet someone and have an interaction with them.
Fair enough. That actually brings a really good question. When you work with people, do you find they are or their parents are more drama queens?
Ooh, when it comes to the kids, I think parents. Because I think with young ones, they're so innocent. They don't naturally gravitate to mean-spirited or to bullying and things like that. It's a learned behaviour, so they learn it from what they see or what they're surrounded by. So sometimes I think, if a parent is pushy, that kid's then going to be pushy. If a parent has high expectations, and it can be in a negative or a positive way, expectations, the child could somehow put a lot of pressure on themselves, which can be bad.
True.
Or it can be a good thing, so they could rise to the occasion.
There's a TV show, Darren, in America, something called Dance.
Dance Mum.
Dance Mum.
Oh, okay.
That it just goes to show what the extent that mums would do to get their kids out there, one, to get in front of the camera, and two, to be the best at what they can do. They're like helicopter mum, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they were pretty full on.
Yeah.
It's taken a little bit of a change now. You're still going to get those parents that are going to push. They want to live vicariously through their children, things that they might not have achieved when they were younger.
That's right.
So I think you get that in sport.
Do you see that a lot? Do you get that a lot in your line of work?
I personally don't.
Yeah.
And as an adjudicator, I'm not privy to what goes on in the background.
Yeah.
I'm there at the desk watching. What goes on backstage could be absolute chaos, but I only judge what's in front of me, what the dancer presents to me. So I hope that we don't... I have seen a few things it can be really heartbreaking to see a kid come off stage and just be so heartbroken that they've made a mistake or they've fallen over or they think that they've disappointed their parent or their teacher because they've forgotten it and run off stage.
Yeah.
But, you know, as an adult, we should be teaching these kids it's okay. It's a competition, yes, but the aim of a competition is to learn and grow. You know, they're kids. They're not professionals.
But there can be one winners, though. Are you one of those educator that would say, you know what, this is a best performance, this is a second best performance, or are you one of those that say, you know what, you all did well and there's no winners or losers? Who are you?
Look, depends on the competition.
Yes.
Some competitions say you have to go first, second, third, highly commended.
Okay.
Some do a score-based thing. So if they're 90 to 100, they're a platinum. If they're 89 to 80, they're a diamond. So everyone, no matter where you are in your marking criteria, you will be like an emerald, a diamond, a platinum, whatever. So everyone does walk away with something. Yeah. But it just purely depends on the competition. I hate making the final decision because it's so subjective. Who am I to say it's just what resonates for me?
It is, because it's art.
Yeah.
True.
Exactly.
It's art, but I think that as an art form, you know your dance performance, right?
Oh, yeah.
Whoever did the best dance performance should be able to be awarded the number one best dancer.
Yeah.
And the other person that didn't do great that day will be number two. So I believe in tough love.
Oh, yes,
I mean, tough love is fine. You learn and you grow from tough love.
Yeah,
I mean, if you stuff up with this dance performance, that's the reason why you stuff up. Yep. That gives you more reason to come back, practice, come back, and kick butt.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Whereas these days, what I found interesting is a lot of kids are not being taught tough love and everything's all right. And then they think that everything's fine, but when it comes down to it, they could perfect that dance move a bit better.
Yeah.
You know what
I think our youth are really lacking resilience nowadays because I think a lot of people wrap them up in cotton wool.
That's
and
right.
As soon as you say, I know in education, for example, you could say something to a child, oh, you need to point your feet or something like that. And then they go home, and because I have a very big voice, I'm not going to deny that. Yeah. And when I have loud music on, I'm yelling over music. So sometimes it can be intimidating to kids, but you need to understand I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling the feedback. Yeah. And then you've got parents going, oh, you're telling my child what to do. Yeah, that's my job.
That's your job.
That's my job. You go to a job, your boss is going to tell you what to do.
100%.
That's correct.
You know?
That's correct. It's funny you're saying boss because I've noticed a lot of young people that go to work these days, and this is from a business perspective. It's a lot of business owners can't handle young people in the job because one, they can't take orders, and two, when you give them instruction, they don't do it right, and they chuck a sickie and then they go home.
Yes.
Seriously? What's the world turning into?
Yeah. I think sometimes we find that they're a little bit too soft.
Yes.
And that resilience is not there.
No.
And it is a real shame. And I think as a community, we need to do better.
I think
and
so.
we need to teach our children more life skills. Yeah. And that tough love has not done me any harm. No. I had a fantastic childhood. Don't get me wrong. My parents were fantastic. I had the strictest dance teacher. You'd walk into class, you would stand there and you would wait for instruction. If she said jump, you'd say, how high? Tell me how high you want me to jump, I'll do it. And, you know, you just do it.
Correct, but then you turn out the way you are, you're best at what you do is because of the teachers.
Yeah.
Right? If they weren't that strict on you, would you be where you are?
Absolutely not.
That's my point.
And you know what? I say that to the kids at school. I say, you look at the end of year production that we put on. Your parents are going to be amazed at what you can do, whether you're a football player or a dancer.
That's right.
We all come together, this is in education, and we work together and we put on a great show for your parents and for our community. Yeah. And you did that. I only facilitate it, but you have to change your mindset into the fact that dance is not just for dancers.
That's right.
It's for everyone.
That's correct.
And everyone can move.
That's correct.
And movement is so important.
That reminds me, Are you still working with a group of dancers for performance or events? How's that? Because we had this conversation a few years ago.
I used to work with Captivate, which is the performing arts program within Parramatta Catholic Diocese. Okay. I don't run with that anymore. I haven't done a performance for gala days and things like that for a little while. I've been focusing on the education-based programs and also the competition that I run.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you run a few competitions. Can you share with us what kind of competition you run every year?
Yeah, absolutely. So Inspire Arts Challenge is mainly a dance program, dance competition that raises it has a great platform for our dancers to compete, but it also raises awareness and funds for a charity. So every year I raise awareness and funds for a different charity. Yes. So this year we're doing Shoebox Revolution.
Shoebox Revolution?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Basically they encourage the community to grab an empty shoebox, fill it with necessities, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, a beautiful encouraging note. You know, you've got this, you know, you can do this, deodorant, a comb, a brush, a hair tie, something that we think is just everyday stuff. Yeah. To someone that's living rough or someone that might be hard financially not able to afford, those things are gems. Okay. And so that's what we're raising awareness and funds for this year is Shoebox Revolution.
I haven't heard of that. Have you heard of that?
No, never.
It started in the Central Coast and they've got a Sydney-based chapter as well. But I got introduced to it from a dance mum up in the Central Coast. And, you know, I've done work with Share the Dignity last year, Variety Club, Deborah Australia, Ronald McDonald House. Every year I choose a charity that is youth-based because I don't want to do anything too dark. Because if I'm at a dance comp, I don't want to bring the mood down to depressing. Right. You know, yes, mental health is so important. We can talk about mental health, but we need to make sure we do it in a mindful way. Yes. Especially with our youth. We don't want to bog them down too much. And, you know, we can talk about homelessness, and it's not just people living on the streets that are doing it tough. It can be parents that experience DV, anything.
I mean, DV seems to be the hot topic because I've been involved in a lot of this stuff over the years, and I get it that DV is a big thing in our community. But you're right. I mean, when it comes down to dance, it's always about inspiring, it's happy. So I know that I've been following you for a while, and I've noticed that you support a lot of charity, and you've done a great thing within that space, and that's why we're still friends. That's why you're here.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? But, you know, like at the end of the day, I guess we want to be able to encourage you and support you more. So if there's anything that we can do, let us know, especially this year. If there's anything, let us know.
Yeah, thank you.
Love to be able to help you with that. You're tuning in with the Three Quirks and a Turk at 89.32 GLF. It's Friday, Peter. Why be moody? And you're going to shake your booty. Yes, that's good. Now, I can't believe our time is running up. Can you believe that? It's like it's 5:50.
It's gone quick.
It's gone so quick. Now, tell me something though. Now, I know that dancers and everyone's out there are doing what a really good thing, right? But how would you create a good human? Should they need to be dancers? Should they need to be involved in sports? Or what's your thoughts on that?
I think youth can become great humans with the use of any type of movement program, whether it be dance or sport, because both of those things teach our students so much more than the actual skills. Yes. As I mentioned before, it's about confidence. It's about teamwork. It's about discipline. It's about resilience and perseverance. You know, not everything is going to come easy in life, but you need to persevere. The good things are the things that you are going to work on. So true. You know, you want to have this amazing career no matter what you do. You need to work towards it. It's not going to just come and be given to you. And you need to understand that things need to have purpose. Yeah. And I think, you know, if we, as a community, as educators, as teachers, as parents, if we can help our students or our children understand these things, that will become great humans.
Is that a good answer, Darren?
That's a fantastic answer.
Good answer.
I love it.
So what's your next project? So you're an educator, so you travel a lot, so you're like judging, dancing. Right? What's the next project you're working on at the moment?
Multiple projects.
Multiple.
Oh, wow.
So I've got my competition coming up in August, so Inspire Arts Challenge. So if there's any small businesses or large businesses that want to support us, please get in contact. You know, we're looking for prizes, opportunities for our dancers. I'm also working on adjudicating. I'm always travelling around, you know, inspiring, encouraging our youth on stage, giving them feedback, not just on the technical thing, but the performance level, because at the end of the day, you could have the most amazing technical dancer, but if they're not connecting with you, it's not a performance.
And if they don't look like they're having fun, it's like, what am I watching?
Yeah. You know, I want to see the joy. And even if your dance is about heartbreak or something like that, I want to see that heartbreak. I want to see you really get in touch. As a dancer, you have to be an actor as well.
Correct.
So there's all the adjudicating stuff, there's the Inspire Arts Challenge, and then there's, of course, promoting Inspire Edge, which is the movement-based programs going into all the educational schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if people want to reach out to you, what's your social handles?
Yeah, so you can contact me on Instagram on Inspire Dance Fitness, or you can look me up, Peta Markham-Ward, on LinkedIn as well, and you can contact me there for whatever realm that you're interested in.
And if people just put in Inspire Dance, you have a website, Facebook?
No, just on Instagram at the moment, just rebranding at the moment with the website,
Okay, that's amazing. And your plans for this weekend? What are you up to this weekend?
This weekend, I actually am catching up with some friends, dance friends from when we were teenagers.
Tiger dance mums, I reckon.
We are having a catch-up on Sunday, which I'm super excited for.
Nice.
But otherwise, it's just preparing for a crazy 2 months. I am away adjudicating for about 2 weeks.
Wow.
And in between that, working and organising my comp and juggling supporters and all of those wonderful things.
Adjudicating is hard. It's a long day, isn't it?
Yeah, you're sitting there from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow.
You need to focus on that child that came on first, 50th, 100th, 220th. You are absolutely giving your all to every single child.
Pretty incredible.
Wow.
Pretty intense.
People say it's easy. It's not.
No. Especially when it's 50 years child. You see the first one. The first one's great. And the second one, that was great.
And then Davey and I get up at number 50. It's like, I just want to switch off.
Yeah.
Darren's going to rock up there with his tights. And he's going to do a dance move for you. And you'll be like, okay, time off.
Next gong.
No gongs.
Peter, can I say thank you so much for joining the Three Quirks and a Turk?
Thank you so much for having me.
Love your work. Keep up the good work. I know you're doing amazing work, tremendous work out there. So I want to say thank you and congratulations for being doing such an amazing job for such a long time.
Absolutely.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And to our listeners out there, we'd love to be able to catch up, and perhaps if there's a topic that you really want us to talk or debate about, hit us up and let us know. But for now, it's Friday. Take care. This weekend's amazing. The weather's not the best, but make sure you look after each other, take care of each other, but also we will be back next week, same time, same place. See you then.
See you
Bye.
there.